welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our lovely space. In today's video, we're just going to jump right in. I have brought you someone who is no stranger to you if you followed me on my last live session. This is someone who has a vast experience in the tech world, and if you have been struggling like me to break into the tech world, and this is someone who has walked the walk and is here to share his experience and also give nuggets along the way. So without further ado, let us just meet our guest for today.
Hello, my name is Ifemena, and thank you very much for having me on board again. So I have over a decade experience working in the tech space. But I like to also tell most people that I didn't start off that way. I had my first degree in economics. Then while I was in Nigeria, obviously I got a job as a management consultant, and that's the trajectory I took. So from a non-technical background, I did economics, got a job as a management consultant. And the key thing on me when I was working as a consultant at the time was I wanted to get more pay. Was the pay I was looking at the time. And in order for me to get that good pay, I needed to look for other career paths I needed to go into. So tech was, at the time, tech was what everybody was also talking about. It was still pretty new at the time, and I was learning a lot, okay? And eventually, I was able to get a job. Now, from learning to getting a job, it actually took me about 2 solid years before I was able to get my first job. And honestly, when I got the first job, moving on to the next one. So I've been doing that for the last 10 years, and I've worked as a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, business analyst, business systems analyst. So I've covered several roles within the data, business analysis, project management space. That's exactly what I do at the moment. So currently, what I do is work as a consultant. So I do more consulting at the moment, where I work with businesses in the UK, in the US, in Canada. And what I do is implement new analytical solutions for these businesses for them to, to thrive in whatever market they are in at the moment. So that's what I do. But always remember, I didn't start off technical. I started as non-technical. So if you're here today and you're wondering how you can come from a non-technical background, you did economics, zoology, Yoruba, English in school, and you're transitioning into the tech space, that's exactly why we're here today.
Thank you so much, Efemina, for that. I love the fact that you broke it down. Guys, Efemina is just being modest. He is actually the co-founder of Amdari. You guys have heard me talk about Amdari constantly here on the channel recently, and this is because I have recently partnered with them because they are in line with the kind of journey that I'm towing right now. Now, when we talk about transitioning to the tech space, I know a lot of people find it daunting, especially if they, like you said, have a different background and they're looking to cross and transition to tech. Now, as a newbie or as an enthusiast, what would you say was a defining moment for you when you decided to transition, and how were you able to do that?
That was a very interesting question. I don't think a lot of people know this. So when I mentioned that I was working as a consultant, at the time I was an intern. I started as an intern, okay, and I started talking to people within the organization, within the consulting space as a whole, and I saw that in order for me to move from that intern to the level where I wanted to get to, senior manager, okay, it will take me about 5 to 7 years, okay. So and I saw that, okay, so it means that I have to wait 7 years in order for me to earn this kind of salary. And that was the turning point for me. I was like, okay, you know what? I can't wait this long. I mean, is there a faster way? Is there a better way? And I mean, if you work in consulting, you know that you're always constantly busy. Okay. So I wanted to escape from that particular kind of life. Okay. I wanted something different. I didn't want to talk to people. I wanted to be on my computer, just working, do my stuff, turn it in, and that's it. So I was looking for something that had to do with computers. Okay. Where I just work on computer and I just send it to somebody. I don't have to interact so much with people and all that. So that was it for me. So even when I determined exactly that I wanted to do this, I wanted to learn something that had to do with computer. I had to do a lot of research, and eventually I stumbled upon, tech, and stumbled upon data science, data analytics, and all that. I started learning. So I learned, and from the point of learning to getting my first job, like I mentioned, it took me 2 years 2 solid years. Some people would have given up. Okay. Some people have said that in 6 months, in 2 months, I'm not getting anything. I don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I will have given up. Exactly. So for me, the realization was money that really was money, number one, and also the kind of career I wanted. Okay, was the defining moment for me.
I love how you said this because, for a lot of people, money is a driving factor. There's no point you are quoting it or saying, because it's the bottom line. At the end of the day, cost of living and, just a desire for a better standard of living is driving people to take on challenging career paths. Now, you spoke about how you transitioned, your history and your background, and some of the things that you kind of had in perspective when you were looking to transition as well. When you were transitioning, what were some of the soft skills and how were you able to level up? How were you able to build your skills, your confidence level, and, despite the rejections, what kept you going?
That's a very interesting question. So I would say that desire of getting into the space, getting into that career path, I just knew that if I get my foot into it, there was so much I could do. So most people think of tech and people think of careers. Okay, most people just think of, I want to get into a career that is data analytics, that is data science, that's data engineering. But I didn't see it as a career. I saw it as a business. At the time, there were not a lot of companies in Nigeria that were doing data analytics, data science, and all that. Okay, so I saw that if I learned this particular thing, I could offer myself as a service to these companies and make more money while I was even working a job. Building confidence, even though I wasn't heading anywhere. So that 2 years, okay, I mean, it wasn't a smooth road. I won't lie to you. There were months that I did not do anything analytics. There were months that I was aggressively learning and all that. But consistently, what built that confidence is me working on projects. So practicing, okay? So, and it's not just practicing with random stuff that I find online. Like I created scenarios for me to build certain things. So if I was interested in, let's say I was interested in football, I will build a project around football. Because while you're working on this kind of project, you face challenges. Those challenges might come off as very, very annoying sometimes. But once you overcome that challenge, you build this, there's this dopamine rush that you get from, uncovering these things itself. So that was what really kept me going. I was also training people. So even though I knew just a little at the time, I was learning Excel. So even though I knew just a little, I was training other people. I was going on calls, sharing the knowledge. So I always wanted to look for a way to train other people. So to reinforce, okay? And I was showcasing all this things on LinkedIn. So if you go back back, couple of years, when I started learning, I was always posting on LinkedIn, built that visibility. And that was the reason why most people, anybody that was looking at training, they would reach out to me because I was always doing content on LinkedIn. So I made money from content also. I made money from LinkedIn, that and so on and so forth.
So you could add that to your 2 years of waiting. You were still making money while you were waiting now.
Honestly, like that's the beauty about tech. I won't lie to you.
Yeah. Okay, so tracking back to your experience of your waiting period, I mean the 2 years where you were building your skill, improving your knowledge, sharing your knowledge as well. What was one rejection, if you can think of one practical rejection that changed the game for you? Like if there was one interview or say a rejection email that you got that was striking to you, and what did you take out from it, and what have you learned, or how has that shaped your perspective on applications and how you carried yourself in the tech space?
I'll give you two major rejections. The first one was not really a rejection. The first one was more a realization. Okay.
All right.
So first one was in Nigeria. So I was looking at relocate. I was looking at getting a job. I wasn't even looking at relocation at the time. So I was looking at getting a good job in Nigeria. I'm working as a consultant. I was already earning at the time I was earning very good. I was earning close to 400K every month on month.
Okay.
And this is aside bonus, perks, and so on and so forth. So I was earning very good. Okay. And I was looking at getting a job as a data analyst. I wanted to get that title, data analyst or business intelligence, something around that analytics. So I did a lot of interviews. But one of the last interviews I did was with a company Okay, so we finished the interview. I was interviewing directly with the CEO, and talking to I explained everything I've done, all the things I've built, all the community I've done, and all that. And the guy was amazed with what I've done. Okay, so he went. Obviously, the last conversation was about salary, and we got to salary, and I told him exactly what I was earning at the moment. And immediately I finished talking about my salary, it was like, my guy, for a CEO, top end CEO, to call you my guy, say, yeah, I say where you are at this point in time, it seems like it's better off than where I'm at.
But where I am.
Yeah, exactly. Like that what we would actually want to offer you. So it was like, if I want to take a pay cut, and learn, that I should try it, that I should consider. And thank God I didn't take it, honestly speaking. That would have been another conversation for another day. But that was when it dawned on me, like, okay, do you know what? Maybe there are not much opportunities here for me in Nigeria. Let me go outside the country to see if I could get something better. And that was what led to me traveling out to Ireland at the time to do my master's in data analytics. Now, the second rejection that really defined my moment of actually me getting my job is, we all know the things about, if you're in the UK, you're in Ireland, send out bunch of email and bunch of applications, you get loads of rejection. Exactly. So rejection is like your 5 and 6, right? Application 5 and 6. You need to manage yourself. All right. So I modified my CV, modified my LinkedIn profile, networked to people within the community, people that were actually working in those jobs. So not necessarily Nigerian, Africans, okay, different backgrounds. Started talking to them, told them my situation at the time. So I remember the lady, her name is Ife, okay? And Ife gave me, she was one of the people that really changed the career path for me. So I made changes to my LinkedIn, my CV based on the recommendation, and I started getting interviews. So when I got interviews, I was not passing the first level of interviews. Okay. Now the one that sets it apart was an actual recruiter that reached out to me, saw my profile, reached out to say, Ifemena, I would like to jump on a call with you. You have a wonderful profile, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, we got on the call. Hey, hello, hi, no more questions. So the guy was asking questions, but I kept saying, I want to start with the organization. I want to grow with the organization like I was a seed. Okay? I want to, if it's back in Nigeria and you're telling the HR professional, I want to grow. I want to start from the bottom. I want to grow with the organization. They see that you're humble. You want to start small. You
start small, climb your way up the ladder.
Exactly. So long term, they're looking at you. You're going to be with us for a long time.
Yeah.
That was the same interview mentality I was using to interview with an Irishman. So I got a rejection, but this guy, I sent him an email to say that, okay, can we jump on a call to discuss my interview and all that, and what led to the rejection. So we jumped on a call and decided straight to the point. It was like, Ifemena, you have experience with your CV. You say you've done this, you've done that, you've done this. Why don't you talk about your experience? Why were you looking at starting with the organization? Exactly. We are hiring an experienced person. So we're not looking at somebody that is looking to learn. We're looking at somebody that will come in and impact. So it means that these guys are not looking for the kind of way we interview back home in Nigeria.
The confidence level.
They're looking at somebody that will come there and tell them that you guys are still using Power BI. Okay, I'm going to try something 2x better and more fast and more optimized. And that's exactly what I did in my organization that led to this significant impact. That's what they want to hear.
They're looking for someone who actually knows what they're doing.
Simple, like proud, not just proud about the things that you have done. So, after I had a call with him, I went back to my CV. I first of all adjusted my CV again. So impact was one of the major things I had on my CV. I changed it to that increased sales performance by 20% in the first month after designing. Okay, putting numbers, achievements into those job description on my CV. Went into these interviews again. I didn't even talk about I want to grow with you. I want to come inside your organization and revamp. I want to come into there and revamp certain processes that you're on. All right. So these are the things I've done in my previous organizations, or I've built ETL pipelines, optimized it, transformed the way they do their reporting process. I won't lie to you, I got the first one in just after a month, less than a month after having that call with the person. And after that, I got another offer, And honestly speaking, at that time, I was just like, life is actually not bad. Life is good. So
the work culture is not universal. So the way
100%.
it is back home, it doesn't pan out here. It's a different ballgame. So a
100%.
lot of people who are coming with the mentality of let's stay humble, let's not be proud, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work.
It doesn't even help you, honestly speaking. And this is where mentorship actually comes in play. You want to get a job as a professional, but you're speaking to somebody that has been struggling to get a job for the last 5 years or 3 years, or that is currently working a Uber job. Okay, and it's telling you that, these people are something. They never give us jobs. They never give immigrant jobs and all that. If that's what you consistently hear, you have to define your own path also.
Yeah,
so that's what
it will shape your mentality.
Exactly. Follow Uno road. Follow the person that knows the way. And that's exactly what I did.
Because you're learning how.
Cost it significantly. So I mean, I had to fail several times in order for me to figure out that I'm being humble in this country.
Wrong. Yeah,
it doesn't work.
So blow your trumpet, blow it as loud as possible. This actually leads me to my next question is, for someone like me who is just transitioning into the tech space, I know, but I want them to hear from you. Where is the best place to get your hands dirty, get your hands on projects, to build your confidence, to work on real life projects, and get your hands on tools that can help you level up?
All right. The place is Amdari. The place is Amdari. So Amdari is born out of that need. Every job you want to apply to today needs you to have experience. So most people will say, entry level jobs. There's nothing like entry level jobs in the tech space. If you have a party you're going to tomorrow, okay, and you want to sew, you have your native attire, okay, that you want to sew, beautiful native. Would you be looking for an entry level tailor that just finished learning how to sew clothes to give your clothes to? Likely not. You won't give the person that idea. You'll look for somebody that has done it before, that has several samples. Okay, can I see this type of samples? Have you sewn Ankara before? Have you sewn lace before? You're looking for a specific. So if you are doing that as an Andy person, now talk more of an organization that is running millions of dollars, millions of pounds in terms of revenue. They're trying to make money. They're looking at to scale. But they want to give someone as an entry-level person functions of a data professional, a cybersecurity professional. They want somebody that you've done it before. Show me that you've done it before, that has experience. So that's exactly what Amdari is coming out to achieve. So we have tons of people that are learning. Okay, you can go on YouTube to learn. You can go on Udemy, Coursera. We have quite a number of learning places you can go learn. You can pay for boot camps and all that. But what you cannot pay for is experience. They go for an interview and they ask you, okay, tell me about a time you've done X, Y, Z. Or tell me a time you've worked with a difficult stakeholder as a business analyst or a project manager. Tell me about a time you've handled message data as a data professional. How do you answer these questions? You need your experience to answer these questions. And that's exactly what Amdari does for you. Amdari provides you with real life experiences, real life projects for you to work on to build that experience that you can put on your CV. You can discuss during an interview. I remember when I was working with Amdari as a data analytics consultant, this client was currently facing, a backlash with customer feedback. So, analyzing the data, this is exactly what we came up with. You can talk about the things that you have done. Okay? Now, bear in mind, this is not random projects. These are real life projects. Now, we have random projects that people have overused. Titanic data set, Uber data set. There are so many data sets on Google that people have used. So if you're a recruiter, you are going to a recruiter and you're telling the recruiter machine learning. What have you? I work on this Titanic data set. Literally every beginner in the world has used it. Literally. So in terms of building that confidence, projects will build that confidence for you. So if you go for an interview and do you have experience? Yes, I do have experience. Okay, can you tell me about any exciting project you recently worked on? Oh yes, thank you very much. While I was working as a consultant with Amdari, we had a client of ours based in Kenya that is looking at improving, that was looking at doing this, that was looking at doing that. As a data professional or as a business analyst or a project manager, as a cybersecurity analyst, this is exactly what we did. Okay? Oh, oh, what tools did you use? Oh, we use this, we use this for this, we use this for this, and we're able to build a more holistic, that's exactly what you want to talk about. So there's no way you go through a project end to end and you do several projects in that same. There's no way you would do that without going for an interview and not sounding smart and excited about the things that you've done. So you see, Amdari builds that confidence based off real life projects that you get to work on. He also provides you with mentorship, employability. So we're helping you to review your CV, LinkedIn profile reviews, navigating the job market. And that's a very important one also. We did an experiment this weekend, all right, on the call. We had a call with different people who are looking at transitioning into the tech space. So we had people that were looking at GRC. So they said there are not a lot of jobs in GRC, okay, in the UK, for guys in the UK. So we went online, went on read.co.uk, and we searched GRC analyst, and just a very few roles popped up. I said, okay, do you know what? Let's try another naming convention. Let's try IT compliance, okay? So compliance is a part of GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Okay, so let's look at IT compliance. Now, guess what? We looked at IT compliance, and you see a barrage of roles, tons of jobs with IT compliance. So we help you with tons of things: on the job support, mentorship, interview preparation. We have a dedicated job board, remote job board for you to apply for remote jobs. So we've done all this to ensure that everything is encompassed in one central location to ensure that you get the best experience. And that's exactly what we do at Amdari.
I am a living proof of what Amdari stands for, because I am currently in the program. I mean, I've seen the back end, I've seen, the job board, I've seen projects that I can get my hands on. What I'm looking to get my hands on is the hackathon. I'm looking to get into that space and just get into those, because there's a lot. There's really a lot. And not to oversell Amdari, it speaks for itself. I mean, if you go on, they have a YouTube channel as well. Look at the testimonials on there. Look at, there's a lot of resources, what people are saying, how they have been able to go into the job market and, practicalize some of the things that they've learned and picked up from Amdari based on the experience that Amdari stands to provide. It's worth checking out. Like I always say, don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. But thank you again, Efemina, for coming on the channel today and for sharing from your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much. And we hope to have you back sometime soon.
Same here.
Yeah. So that's us signing out. Thank you so much for joining.
Always excited to be here also. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.